Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. So this video is going to be focused on the face. I have some new sponges from Real Techniques, and I have a puff from e.l.f. that I wanted to just play with. So this video will be focused on the face. This claims to be the #1 mattifying sponge. Damn, so I should have used a non-matte foundation. Oh well. This is the Miracle Air Blend sponge. It's blue, and it says medium to full coverage, natural matte finish. We'll talk about each sponge. And then I have the Real Techniques. I'm really excited about this. The Miracle Concealer Sponge. This one says light to medium coverage. We'll get into that. And then I have the e.l.f. Halo Glow Powder Puff that I want to use. So I thought this would be fun to throw this face together. Okay. Yeah, I picked a matte foundation to use today. Oh well, we're here now. Anyway, let me bring you up to speed. So I went ahead and did a beautiful fall eye using the ColourPop Smoking Hot palette. I recently, I still need to shop my stash, but I shop my stash for palettes for fall. Everyone's, you know, putting out their videos of like their favorite fall palettes and what they got in their rotation, and y'all gonna see one from me, okay? But anyway, I used the Smoking Hot palette today to do my eyes. I did prime with some, still using the same two primers. Again, I need to clean up my shop, my stash. It's time for some new stuff. This is the Stick It to Pores, and I also use my, this is by Hard Candy, and I use my Milk Hydro Grip. And I did do my color correcting with my Natasha Denona High Glam Color Corrector. And here's where we are, all right? So the foundation that I'm going to use is the LA Girl Pro Matte HD Definition Long Wear Matte Foundation. I mixed two shades together because that's just what I do. Yeah, and the sponge I'm going to use for that, this face sponge, let's talk about it. The Real Techniques Miracle Air Blend Sponge. This feels completely different than the normal Real Techniques sponge. It's not as dense. It is very, very light. Very, very lightweight. It says evenly blends and mattifies foundation for natural looking coverage without the shine. Yeah, I probably should have tried something. Probably should. Do I have anything glowy I want to... That's so interesting. That is so interesting. All right. Yeah, we'll try this Maybelline Perfector 4-in-1 Glow Makeup first. I'll put that on first because that's very glowy. And we'll see if that changes the situation. Mattifies foundation for natural looking coverage without the shine. Wet before use. It says, wet before first use. Use dry to apply liquid or cream makeup. Okay. Coverage medium to full. Use with foundation, concealer, and color correctors. Finish natural matte. Best when used dry. How to use. Wet before first use. Use dry to apply liquid or cream makeup. Best when used dry. It's a lot going on with this sponge. Air-like foam hugs the surface of skin for more even coverage. It's definitely, you can see the texture in here. It's a very light air foam. It feels like I call them those big car wash sponges. That's what it feels like. Clean once per week, replace every 30 days. Miracle Air Blend Sponge. So I'm not quite wet before first use. This is my first use. Use dry. Best when used dry. I done screwed this all up. I done screwed it up. Maybe it's used to absorb. It's more of like an absorber. So like using it dry. Well, we're gonna try the Maybelline 4-in-1 Perfector that I have here first as kind of like a glowy primer underneath. I don't know. I don't know. I don't. And this is a very glowy product. It's not the glowiest that I have, but I'm going to put this on. And we're going to see. That's a lot because I'm still going to use foundation. I'm going to blend. Okay, now I will say it's so light. It feels like with the other sponges, with my Beauty Blender, with the Real Techniques, like I have long nails, and so I'm gripping this. And like with those sponges, I can't feel my nails through the sponge. Here I can. Like I can feel my nail bouncing on my skin. So, I don't know. It blended it out just fine. It did. It's beautiful. I will say it's not as glowy as it normally is. I will say that. So there is something to this sponge material maybe. But I'm about to put on a matte foundation. We're going full coverage because I wanted to test all that. I already have it mixed together here on my palette, and I'm just putting it on. And now this air foam, it says medium to full. This is so interesting because it says medium to full, yet I feel like this is absorbing more, so it would give you less coverage. Let me see. Oh my God, it's a beautiful finish. Beautiful. But I'm gonna tell you something. It's definitely airbrushing this. It's making it look beautiful. But I do think it's taking away just a smidge of the coverage. I literally feel like it's doing the opposite of what is in terms of the coverage. Like oh my God, it looks gorgeous. This Pro Matte Foundation, I love this foundation. This is a full coverage foundation. It is not dry in a bad way, but it's a dryer, it's for oily skin. It is matte, baby. It lasts all day. It is a matte situation. So putting that glow underneath will help it look a little bit more natural. But in terms of coverage, this stuff is still, it's a full coverage foundation. And like maximum coverage for me. It is. It's pretty good. And this, I will say, it's still full coverage, but it did soften it. This sponge did soften it. I can see a difference versus when I would apply it with another type of sponge. This one's a little confusing to me. This sponge is a little bit, maybe like with the instructions, it's so pretty. But this is more airbrush, like this, yeah. For it to say medium to full, oop, I'm moving things. For it to say medium to full, yeah, but it's really, I like it. I'm gonna try it dry and things like that, but the thing that it does better, I think it gives a more soft airbrush look. I do. In terms of the matte part, I think maybe if I use it dry, that'll help with that. But it's very soft. Almost too soft. Almost. Almost too soft where it's very, very just like, yeah. But I also have long nails and I can feel my nails through. But the face looks great. That's so interesting. That is so interesting. These sponges are about $5.99. So drugstore side, if you want something that makes your, I'm gonna try it with more of my like maximum coverage foundations, and I'm also gonna try it with more glowy things. It'll be in the rotation because I do like what it did with this one. I do see a difference, but I see a lighter difference. You understand what I'm saying? I don't see it as more full coverage and more matte. I see it as more natural. Also, I put something underneath of it. So yeah, the sponge feels fine. It might be a little too soft for me, but the look it gave, gorgeous. I don't know what you want to do with that first impression because it's all over the place. Now, this is interesting. We have the concealer sponge. This is the Miracle Concealer Sponge, and this claims light to medium coverage. However, this is more of the texture of the Real Technique sponge. This is what is just yellow. I do like this shape. I have long nails, so I don't really use, when my nails are long, the super small blending sponges that people use for concealer that are perfect for that. So I need something a little bit bigger, but also this area of my face is not super huge. I love a giant sponge, but it doesn't need to be this big. This works just fine, but it doesn't need to be this big. So I think this is a good size for concealer. So I have high hopes for it. It is the texture of the Real Techniques orange sponges, the original. And I like the shape. We have a flattened side and we have a beautiful pointed side there as well. And it claims to be light to medium coverage, which this texture I would guess to be full coverage, but what do I know? Let's get a concealer. Let's get a concealer. So interesting. I'm going to go ahead with, yeah, let's use my Too Faced Born This Way. This is a full coverage concealer, multi-use sculpting concealer. This says super coverage. So let's see if I maintain the super coverage or it lightens it up. All right, let's do it. I'm gonna put some dot. We're gonna do some dots. Not like me at all. Not like me at all. I know, I'm tripping. But trying to give it a chance. Alright, I need a little bit more. I'm gonna keep it real. I can't be out here not being me in these streets. So I'm gonna use the flat side to blend this, not the pointy side, because that's just what I prefer. Okay, let's see what we got going on. Okay. I will say, let's see, blending it out is fine. But I feel like it picked up more product. It picked up far more. And this makes sense. What does it say? Light to medium coverage. It picked up a lot of product. I'm very confused about these sponges. This one feels better. Like I don't feel my nails as much through the foam. So that's good. I love this size. I think this is the perfect size. It blended out really well. But it definitely picked up a lot of product. It picked up more than the blue sponge did. So, yeah, but I see light to medium coverage. It's going to pick it up. And this one is doing what it says it's doing. Definitely. So, I ain't mad at this. I like the way it feels, and I really like this size of this. I really like this size. I definitely think I'll probably get more. I want a little bit more coverage under the eyes, since this sponge picks up some. So I definitely think if you're a triangle concealer girly or guy, you know, packing it on like me, this sponge might be good because it'll probably absorb a little bit of it and make it perfect. But if you're a person that's doing light dots and stuff, it's gonna suck up those dots to give you, yeah, so use at your own risk. Feels really good. I will give you an update later on how well they clean. I have not cleaned my sponges yet. So, but Real Technique sponges, they are actually a little smidge harder to clean than the Beauty Blender. Like the makeup comes out, but I do have to scrub a little bit more because the foam on the Real Technique sponge is denser than the Beauty Blender foam. But I get it clean. So, so that's that. Alright, now we're going to use the e.l.f. We're going to set this under our area. This is the Halo Glow Powder Puff. People rave about this. This puff is thicker. Let me show you the puff. Oh, okay. Let me show you the puffs that I normally use. These are like Amazon, wherever. Okay. Triangle puff. Get up in there. Super flexible. And, you know, with my long nails, I adjust a little bit. But that's the puff. Here is the e.l.f. one. It's pointy. Not as pointy. But it's thick. Okay. She thick. It feels, it's definitely some spongy, like a sponge applicator inside that. She's thick, and she's not as soft. This, again, just a random puff from like Amazon. This is softer. This is more almost like a terry cloth material. It's not rough by any means, but it's, yeah, it's not that plush softness. This is definitely has a little bit of grip to it. It's like a terry cloth situation. That's interesting. I am sure that means it grips more product. This is much more solid, thicker. Okay. I am going to set this with, I want a nice loose powder. What y'all doing out there? What y'all doing out there? I have in my Shop My Stash here. This is the Dermablend Illuminating Banana Powder. Alright. Not using my pink powder today. So I'm going to take a little bit. Wow, it picks up a lot. Okay, look. this is picking up a lot. Like I said, it has some grip to it. I'm going to dust some of that off. It has some grip. It picks up far more with one dip than the other puffs. So I'm going to press this on my face. Now it's a little big. It's a little big. See how I'm getting that everywhere? It's not quite in the corner where I would like it to be because it's big. She big. Okay. But it did pick up a bunch of product. And so I don't see, you definitely got to blow it off. I don't see this doing well, not in a baking situation. You're going to have to blow a lot. Like, look at this. I am in a baking situation without even wanting to be because this has so much grip on it. And if you like to put a lot of powder on your, both your face and your under eye area, I think this will work really well. It's very grippy. I was not expecting that. I don't know how I feel about it because if I don't want to bake. So I need to dust. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's not as precise because this point is much better. On the little cheaper puffs, I do like how thick this is. I do like that. But also it's a hindrance if you really want to get precise with your placement of your powder. You see? It's not as precise. But I like the way it feels. It feels nice. So there's some pros and cons there. That's like $4. That puff's like $4. So, yeah. Okay, I am going to use this before I set my whole face. I'm going to go back to the big one, and I'm going to use it to do my cream contour today. Bronzer. Cream bronzer. We're still on bronzer. I'm going to use the deepest one to see if that lightens up. This is the Juvia's Place cream bronzer in Espresso. It's the deeper shade. So I'm going to use the sponge here to see if that lightens things up. I'm going to pick up some, it's picking up, that's enough. And I'm going to place this, that's a lot, that was a lot, I don't need any more. Let me just, we're going to blend. Wow, that picked up more than okay, alright, let's blend, honey. So we're going to blend a lot. Pretty. That was my fault. I picked up too much. I thought I wasn't picking it up, and joke's on me. That's a little bit too much. Whatever. Whatever. I'm going to blend out the forehead. I think, yeah, I did a little too much, so I'm going to take a little bit of foundation. Just a smidge, and dot where we have the bronzer. Sometimes we gotta correct things, and that's what these tests are for. Oh God, I gotta watch The Grinch. It's one of my favorite Christmas movies ever. With Jim Carrey, of course. Ooh, beautiful. All right, after I calmed down a little bit. I had to calm down, but I calmed down. Okay, let's set this face. I'm going to try one more thing. This has concealer on it, but I'm going to, do I want to try? No, I don't want to. I was thinking about blush, but I don't want to mess up the sponge and get that on there. Alright, let's finish the face. I'm going to go ahead and set everything with some powder, do my blush and highlight, and I'll be right back, and in my lip, and we'll discuss. So I went ahead and I don't even think I set my face with powder. I completely forgot. Oh well, we're in the house. But I did apply, like I just realized that. I did apply blush. This is the MAC. I used MAC Ambering Rose, brought this back out. That was my blush. And then my highlighter is the House Labs highlighter in Fire Drill. Fire Drill, right? Yeah, a Fire Opal. Fire Opal. And the lip I have on is from Beauty Creations. What shade is this? This is their Seal the Deal Matte Liquid Lipstick. I don't think I've worn a liquid lipstick in a long time, but baby, it's liquid lipstick season. This is the shade So Ideal. Nice, deep. We like it. We like it. These glasses came from Zelo, I believe. I did do a video with all the glasses and links and everything. These are a little bit small for my head, but I still think, I love the way they look. Okay, so that was the face. How do we feel? These sponges are interesting. I like the airbrush look this gave. I think it gave a more airbrush look than a normal Beauty Blender or Real Technique sponge. I'm still confused with the full coverage and then the mattifying part of it. That's giving more of like oil absorbent. I'm not quite sure. I'm not. And then using it dry, wet for the first use, but best when used dry. There's a lot here that I still need to play with. But it got the job done. My skin looks great. I don't have any complaints. So it's just a matter of your preference of how it feels and what it gives you if you're trying these sponges. Again, they're around $5, $6. You can, you know, there's coupons. Usually Ulta always has a sale, something going on with 40% off. They're not expensive. So you can try the orange one, the blue one. They have a few others. They have this thing that I still need to use on camera. The 2-in-1 puffin thing. Like there's things for you to try, so you can go ahead and see how you feel. I like this. This is the concealer. I love the size. It absorbs product. It does. I mean, all sponges do. But I am a triangle of concealer, a lot of product person. So I think this will absorb just enough for it to look perfect. Perfect. I think if you're someone who's doing like dots here and there, this is going to suck up the bare, you know, the little bit that you put on. But if you're me, you're overdoing it, this could be great for you. I did not need to use the pointy side to get up in anywhere. This flat side was good, but then you have more precision here with the pointy side. And so I do like this one. I'm going to add a few more of these to the collection or wait for the Shop Miss A dupe to come out. But both of these are around $5.99. Yeah, and then the e.l.f. puff. There's a lot here to discuss. It's thick. I love the way it feels. It feels luxurious. It's very soft. This is great. I think it'd be great for your whole face. Pressing in powder as you would do with a normal powder puff. Pressing it into your face. This is a good size. It's comfortable. It's soft. It feels good on your skin. The grip on this, like I said, this texture here, let me get into this texture. It's like a terry cloth washcloth almost. It's very, very grippy. It picked up a lot of powder. It picked up more powder than any puff I've seen. And like the powder is like it's like in there. Like it's still in here. Like if you press, it's in the grooves of there. So unless you're baking, this is going to give you probably too much powder. So, you know, if you're a person that does a lot, you're going to get a lot. So, if you're baking though, okay. And also this round, by it being so thick and then the top is just rounded, it's not to a point, you're not going to get as, you know, super precise if you're setting your under eye up in there. So that's something you need to take into account. But it's $4. I bought 2 of them, and I will still use it for baking. But it does suck up a lot of powder. So, but baking, yeah. And I like the way it feels. I really do. So, I might see how it does with loose powder, or powder foundation. But that was my first impressions on these hype new sponges. I don't know if they're hyped. I know this one is. But let me know what you think. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about any of the products mentioned in this video, feel free to leave it down below. I love you all, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.